Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me here in the Coloring Corner. And of course, welcome to you all. Of course, today is Work in Progress Wednesday, and I have been working on A Fairy Secret Reading World by Heather Valentin. This is a Patreon Tier 2 exclusive. So this is exclusively available only to Patreon members. So if you are not already a Patreon member of Heather Valentin, I definitely suggest that you do so. This tier is only $5 a month to get wonderful pictures such as this. Tier 1 gets wonderful pictures as well. And that is only $1 a month. And of course, for $10 a month, you get everything from Tier 1 and Tier 2, as well as special things for just Tier 3. So if you are not already a Patreon member of Heather Valentin, please do join her. Her work is just absolutely gorgeous. So this is what I'm working on today. I've started this on Saturday and I got her all colored on Saturday. I've still got her wings to do, but I haven't gotten there yet. And I have been working on the branches and moss and all that fun stuff throughout the week. And I have one wonderful person visiting me. And I've got to bring the chat up so I can see who it is. Hello, whoever is out there. Thank you so much for joining me. So we have had an eventful week here in the corner. I had to actually leave the house today. I don't like leaving the house. I had to go to the grocery store and get dog food and stuff like that. And yeah, I don't like doing that. Hi, Katerina. Or Karina, sorry. I immediately put a T in there for you. Isn't that fun? So what I'm going to be working on today, and I will probably, what I'm hoping is between today and the rest of the week of working on this little by little, by Saturday, by the end of our chat Saturday, I like Karina. It's just, I have a friend that's name is Katerina, and it's spelled the exact same way, just with a T in it. Hopefully by Saturday, by the end of our live session Saturday, I should have this whole beautiful picture finished, which will be nice. But it's just such a gorgeous image, and I'm trying to learn how to use the Pablos the right way. They are a very lovely, creamy, wonderful colored pencil. I have found that I have a habit of sharpening them to a very, very fine point. And these are a much harder pencil. So it's not necessary to sharpen them that sharp. And they really don't like working too well when you do sharpen them to that sharp point. So I'm learning to let my pencils go dull. It seems to work a little bit better for what I'm doing right now on the page. So I'm going to grab my greens here, and I'm going to do this wonderful area up here and get that moss colored because I missed it. So I'm going to switch you over to both so you can see both parts of the picture, the whole picture, as well as the part I'm coloring. I hope everybody has had a really, really good week so far. It's just the start of the week, so. And that's not the, well, maybe it is the right color. Hi, Barb. So I'm just going to fill it in really lightly. I'm doing the shadow areas and the moss. And I'll darken that up in a bit. I'm just putting a light layer. I found that combining two different colors together works really, really well. But like I said, I have noticed that if I keep my pencils really sharp, um, they don't lay down the color as well. If they are dull, they lay down the color a lot better, which is interesting to me. Like I said, these are a much harder pencil than I'm used to. I'm used to a nice soft pencil with a wax lead, but these ones they're soft and they're smooth. They're really, really creamy, but I've sharpened them to a really fine point and they don't seem to like it too much. So, hi there, Davissa. How is everybody today? I'm good. Had to go out into the wild blue yonder today and get dog food, and didn't like doing that, but otherwise I'm doing good. When I come out of the grocery store, there was somebody standing at the back of my car, and my heart jumped. I was like, how bad is it? Yeah, it's actually really, really sunny up here in Oregon. I'm quite surprised at the weather lately up here. Usually it's cold and rainy all the time, but today and yesterday it's nice and sunny. The weatherman said that we were supposed to get rain today, so when I left the house for the grocery store, it was gray and yucky, so I figured, okay, well, I'll grab my coat. I severely rethought that when I got out of the grocery store because it was no longer gray and yucky out. Yeah, he didn't hit my car. He was just waiting for his wife and didn't realize that was no longer standing behind his own vehicle. So I was like, phew. But that's the first thing that went through my head was, oh my God, how bad is it? Well, that's really warm for Kentucky right now. Oh, I gotta adjust that. Yeah, it was very frightening. my my first thought was, how bad is it? I'm just gonna adjust that so you can actually see the proper color. There, that's better. His reaction to it when I said, "Okay, how bad is it?" was, "Huh?" It's like, "Oh God, I'm not behind my car anymore." It's like, "Oh, okay, as long as you haven't nailed mine." Turn that light on a bit. Maybe it'll help. There we go. But I returned the Ram Refined today and went to the grocery store and actually left the house for a little while. I don't like doing that. The pencils were nice, but I'm not going to support somebody that is taking from another company, so I sent them back. Especially a company that I know fairly well and respect. I don't want to be taking bread off their table and putting it on somebody else's table who can't seem to, create their own product. I know that's a bit harsh, but I just thought about that. That's a little harsh, but it's true. So, just a really quick reminder, if you want to participate or be a part of the auction, and the auction is that I was talking about on a special Sunday, is not going to be on this channel. So, it will not show up in your announcements or anything like that. It is going to be on a special channel dedicated just to that. So if you want to participate in the auction, you do have to watch the Sunday special to find out how to enter into the auction and what you need to do to get everything all together and register for that and get your number and whatnot. So if you haven't already watched my special Sunday on the auction, please do. And if you want to participate or bid on any of the products that I show for the auction, please make sure that you send me an email with your name and address and YouTube name and your email address so that the one that you use for PayPal so that I can be sure to make sure to get all of your auction information set up and get that out to you so that on the 14th, when the auction is going on, you're not left out. Because that suck. And it is a private auction, so it's not going to be publicized and whatnot. So I have to send you a link for it and invite you to use the link. And that's one of the reasons why you need to email me and not just stop in, because it's not a public auction. It is strictly for those who want to participate and send me their registration information. Hopefully that makes sense. I think I put one of the greens away that I was using. Maybe. I don't know. The one thing with these Pablos is they do, the Caran d'Ache Pablos, is they do layer really, really nicely. So You can get lots and lots of different layers. Like I've got 4 different colors on here, and I think probably 5 or 6 layers by now. And I can still add color to it, which is great. But they're a definite learning curve. So is everybody ready for Friday already? It's the end of Wednesday. Are we all ready for Friday? Let's just skip Thursday and go straight to Friday. And Friday evening too, not just Friday morning. Okay, so that's the moss done. Now I gotta finish the tree trunk. And then it's some pretty flowers and leaves. I like pretty flowers and leaves. Now I need this part. Just using the Caran d'Ache blending stick here and getting it all blended together. Getting rid of any odd lines and whatnot. Although it is moss, it is going to have odd lines, right? And then we're going to go to these 3 colors. And this one. Yeah, an entire day that you can color without being interrupted is always a good day. I don't need the purple. That's not going to help me. Where is the brown I was using? I think it's this one. I don't have any day that I can color uninterrupted. And when I do, I lose my mojo. I sit there and I look at my page going, well, I don't know. I might have my craft room soon, though. We'll see. My oldest son has gotten a job, so he might be moving on down the road in the next few months. We'll see. We'll see if he actually moves out and takes care of himself. Yes, it definitely does happen. Sometimes I just have to say, okay, stop being an idiot and just go with what you know. Another part is, I get so used to it being so quiet in the house all the day long. And then my husband comes home from work and it's suddenly not quiet in the house anymore. And I think it just blocks my brain. because I find that I can't think as well when my husband is home. Isn't that funny? Sometimes I can. Sometimes I can just actually listen to him and it relaxes me and it just gets things moving. But there's some days where I'm already anxious or I'm already having a bad day and I just can't concentrate. And I'm concentrating more on what he's saying to his friends and everything else than I am trying to color. And those days I just put it all down and I just join him and his friends in his Discord chat and listen to them talk about 3D printing stuff and video games and all the other things they think and talk about. It doesn't happen very often, but sometimes it does. Which is fine because I like listening to them talk. So, what do you have going on there, Davissa? She's always got something going on. I haven't seen anything on your channel lately, though. I have to go through and watch all the ones that I've missed. If I've missed any. I think I've watched all of them, though. What are you working on? Are you doing do you have any work in progresses going on or? Well, how's your ankle? I'll have to look. Didn't get any notification of any yesterday. I think on Monday I saw a couple. My brain is so fried sometimes, though. I watch them and then I don't remember watching them or don't remember until I hit them and actually, say, I watched this one already. Life just seems to blur together sometimes. Good. That's good. I was a little bit worried with you having to go to work and whatnot. A bum ankle is not good when you have to go to work. What are you coloring, Barb? Barb's being quiet, so I know she's coloring something. Oh, cool. I'll have to take a look. I must have missed it. What book is it? I may not have missed it. I will have to take a look. In case anyone here doesn't already know Davissa, she has been on my channel a couple of times as a guest for Saturday Color Along as well as Work in Progress Wednesdays. And she has her own channel and she is quite the enabler. She has all sorts of really cool things that she's taught me as well as quite a few other people that watch me as well as one of the officers of our Facebook group. So Oh, I did watch that one, and yes, it is a beautiful book. I have not bought it yet because I had a bunch of other things on the go, and I've got to slow down on my purchasing until Amazon actually pays me. I did buy those dot things that you were talking about that you use for your inks and stuff. I did buy a set of those though. You know, those scrubber things that you use for your inks. Bought a set of those to give them a try. And I bought a set of pencils that I'm going to show on Friday and a few other things. I've bought quite a few things. I should just really stay away from Amazon at this point. Because, yeah. Thankfully, we have a little bit of money coming for our tax return that I can apply to the credit card. To get rid of those charges. Yeah, so I'll have to give those a try and let you know what I think of them. I like the way you used them, so. I should have made this one dull. And of course, you're all going to constantly see my wonderful bot. What that bot is doing when it does chime in is lets you know to remember to like the video, or you'll leave me a comment if you have any questions, or notice something that you want to know a little bit more about in the comments section. And of course, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, it reminds you to please hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. And that's what that bot is doing. It will also let you know any way that you can, one of the ways, I guess would be the word, one of the ways that you can support the channel financially by making a small donation to the channel's PayPal account. Of course, all of those things are voluntary. And of course, I'm off screen again. I'm kind of liking the doing the screen and screen, because that way when I'm off screen, you can still see it on the little screen where I'm at. Or if my hand's in the way, you can see it on the larger screen. The screen and screen is helpful. So what's everybody else working on? Is anybody working on anything, or am I just the only one working on something today? Which is perfectly fine too. You don't have to work on something. You can just sit and chat with me. I like that. I like it when people sit and chat with me. It helps me get to know y'all. Have you used those round things on the cream crayons or anything like that, or just the inks? Ah, what you cooking? And when do I send the boys in for dinner? Yeah, you want dinner, you gotta go down to California. I picked up a shepherd's pie from Costco, so that's what the boys will be having for dinner. When I do lives on Wednesday, I try to do something fairly quick and easy for them. Chicken soup with refried beans. It actually sounds really good. Yeah, I have other tools too that I've been using on him. I just thought I'd give him a try on that, but I was worried that the creams would probably gum it up. California is close enough, I might actually be able to. Whereabouts in California are you? I think you already said, but I missed it or didn't pay enough attention to it to remember. My brain doesn't let me remember lots of things sometimes. Oh, the train should be coming your way shortly. Yeah, I don't know. It has all sorts of little tools that come with it. So with the set that I picked up, so unless I didn't get that one, I gotta check. I may have foregone the little tools and just went with the dauber. Okay, down in Los Angeles. Okay. Yeah, we're in Oregon, just off of I-5. I have another friend of mine that's down in San Jose. I don't think my husband would want to go visit him though. No, they're the little stamp things, the little things that you peel off with the little wooden handle thing. And then, the set that I was looking at also have little tools that go with it that were spongy type things. Pretty sure you're thinking the same thing I am. But on Amazon, they had those and a little tool set that went with it with a little spongy, almost sort of like the pan pastel set, but um, more like I don't know, like a makeup type of thing. No, you're thinking the same thing. It's just it came with other things, and I think I just said no. I think I'll just stick with one thing at a time. I'll post the link when I do the review of them. I can't remember if I got the ones with the little tools or if I said no, they're, little tools that I might not use. And my cheap side said, well, these ones are $5 cheaper and you don't get the little tools, but you get all the pads and everything else. And I might have gone that way. because I have a set of those inks because somebody, got me hooked on the damn things. um, Divisa has gotten me hooked on these dewdrop inks. And she has a tool that she uses to spread the ink that makes it look really, really nice. So I have found that on Amazon for $12.99 and bought it. And it should be here tomorrow. Or Friday. I'm hoping it's here tomorrow so I can show it. Yeah, you didn't do anything. So now, not only do I have the little tool coming, because, yeah, somebody got me started on those. I also was on Wish, and I should never, ever log into Wish. I should just avoid that altogether. Um, so now I have a set of 40 of them coming. I'll show you the tool when I get it in. The inks that Divisa has gotten me hooked on are like this. They're just small little dewdrop ink pads with all sorts of really pretty colors. You can see the color better in this camera. Let me put it on the main camera. That's a better view of the color. Yeah, I got a set of 40 of them coming from Wish for $30. So we'll see in a month if they actually show up, first of all, and if they're the same quality, second of all, because you know how Wish can be. Yeah, so if you click on Divisa's name, it should take you to, well, maybe not. It used to take you to her channel. I will leave a link to her channel in the About section. She does do a video on the inks and how she uses them that she shows that tool in quite nicely. So if you want to take a look at that, you can definitely do so. Once I get the tool in, I will be doing a bit of course, I will be doing a review of it and whether or not it's something that I will be able to personally use and that sort of thing. But it has to come in first. But I will leave a link to that and the other tool in the About section on this video as well in the description. So you guys can take a look at it. Okay, so we've got flowers done that actually look green now. I think we've got some of the greenery done. I'll do the leaves up here. Switch you back over to the... Do you guys prefer to be on this camera or the close-up camera? Which would you prefer? I know she's upside down because I'm going to work on this area up here. Because if you don't mind being on this camera, I'll just leave it and work on the leaves. But I'm telling you, I'm really liking these Pablos. They're really nice. And for anybody that wasn't here at the start and hasn't watched the start of the video, which you don't have to when you join a live, this picture is done by Heather Valentin, and it is one of her Patreon exclusives in Tier 2 Patreon. She does some absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous work for her Patreon group, and it is exclusively for her Patreon group. You will never see it anywhere else. So if you want to join her over on Patreon, just go to patreon.com and look for Heather Valentin. I will leave links in the About section, of course, in the description below. And, this is Tier 2, which is $5 a month, and you get all sorts of really great pictures once a month for that tier. If you go up to $10 a month, you get Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3. And that is lots and lots and lots of beautiful artwork every month. And of course, for Tier 1, it's only $1 a month, and you still get some absolutely fantastic pictures. And every once in a while, she has some gifts that she gives, like actual entire books. PDF format books, which is wonderful. And it's so worth it. Even on Tier 1, it is beyond worth it. I just love her work. And the Patreon stuff that she's been coming out with lately is just gorgeous. Well, all her work is gorgeous, but this stuff is really nice. This one. And maybe this one. Sorry if I go quiet. I'm hard to look up and look down at the same time. Sometimes. Sometimes I get in a zone and I forget what I'm doing. And I'm just sitting here coloring away, and you people are just sitting there going, okay, well. I feel like I'm ignoring y'all. But I hope you all enjoyed the Tips and Tricks Tuesday. That series will be going on for a little while, and it's hopefully helpful. I have had quite a few people ask me to do the tips and tricks with the colored pencil 101 basically in it. So I'm trying to go from start to finish, before you even pick up a pencil, and right after you've thought about, actually coloring and that sort of thing, how to go about it. So I hope you found the introduction to the tutorial on paper and pencils helpful. Because that's one thing that I had to learn and feel out myself was why do these pencils look absolutely fantastic on this piece, but when I color on this book or in this book, it looks absolutely horrible, you know. And I had to find out the hard way and everything else that, it's not the pencils, it's the paper. And some paper, you just have to have the right pencils for. For a long time, I thought it was just me and I sucked. Good night, Karina. Thank you so much for joining me. Yeah, I do put up quite a few, so I do try to put out one every day except for Sundays. And even Sundays get one, so. Again, for anybody that has just joined us or, hasn't watched the Sunday special, it is a video that does give you all of the information you need to know about our auction. The auction is going to, of course, provide some financial assistance to the channel to make sure that we can do giveaways and wonderful things like that. It's always the paper, isn't it, Deborah? And it took me a long time to figure that out. Yeah, it took me a very long time to figure that out, that there's certain pencils that will work on certain things, and then there's certain pencils that just suck on the same thing. It's horrible. And it makes you feel that there's something wrong with the way you're coloring, or, it's not you, it's not the pencils. It's definitely the paper. We'll blame it on the paper. And that Amazon, what is it called? Crate space paper. That's the word I was looking for yesterday and couldn't come up with. The crate space paper is the worst. There are some pencils that will color on it, though. I found that Prisma does really well on the crate space paper. Well, at least the way I color with them anyway. Oh, you must be in heaven. Aren't they pretty? It took me 2 days to even take them out of the box. I just sat there looking at them for 2 days. I couldn't even swatch them. They were just so pretty. You must be so excited and so thrilled. That I can believe. Absolutely. That's I just ran them back and forth over because the pastel ones were on top on my set. So I just ran my hand back and forth over all of those pretty pastel colors. And then I had to mix them all in. I tried to leave the pastels separate, but it drove me crazy because I'd go to the color family to find them, to find the colors. And of course, they wouldn't be there. They'd be all in the back in the pastel section. And it's like, yeah, no, we're just going to put those all together. But they are definitely one that I feel a lot safer using now that I know that we can get the one-offs at here in the US. Because I did find at one point a place out in the UK that I could get the one-offs from, but they were expensive, and then shipping on top of it was really expensive. So, ooh, nice. So you got a double bonus. Yeah, those pencils are definitely what, they do live up to all their hype. I will say that. I was worried when I bought them at the cost that they are, that they were just way overhyped and they weren't going to be as special as I was expecting, and I was going to be let down. And nope, nope, they do live up to their hype. Yeah, yeah, that's one of the things that deterred me from coloring with mine a lot because I do like my pencils quite sharp. So sharpening them to a point where it's sharp makes the pencil look much shorter. It makes you worry more. But now that I can replace them, I'm not so worried about it. I still haven't used them very much. I've got so many other things going on and new ones coming in all the time that I just sit there and look at them. These Pablos are really nice though. See, there you go. 12 extra pastel colors, and you can put those in your travel bag or something. Put those in your emergency bag. But yeah, I hope you enjoy those. They're absolutely gorgeous pencils. And I will say, yes, absolutely. I did sit there for hours petting mine too. Oh yeah, they do. They lay down so pretty. Um, my only learning curve on them is they are a very um, hard pencil. So sharpening them to the point that I normally sharpen pencils doesn't do very good things with these. It limits them quite a bit. So I found that if I let it go dull, it actually works a lot better. It gives me a lot better color range. No, I definitely did. I sat there and my husband came out of the office about an hour or two after I'd gotten them in, and I'm sitting there just playing with them. And he says, are you coming to bed? I said, nope. I'll be there in a bit. I gotta put the pencils away. He said, well, how long is that gonna take? I said, I don't know. That's the only set I did that with, so yeah. It's bad when you want to make a little nest and make them all safe and secure before you go to bed. Well, they travel so far. Yes, the Pablos are really, really nice. And like I said, the only learning curve that I've had to deal with them, of course, is remembering to let them go dull because they do seem to be laying down a lot better color, like a lot smoother color than when they're sharp. They transition so much better when they're a little bit dull. They don't have to be really dull, but I have a tendency to make them really sharp, and they don't seem to like that very much. Or it's just the way I'm coloring with them and they don't like it that much. I don't know. Yes, exactly. It's just like car guys will sit out in the garage for 24 hours just petting their car. I think it's a normal thing. You know, it all depends upon what you decide is pretty, right? And the car guys won't just do it for a little while. They'll do it for months at a time, washing their car every other Saturday. Gotta wash the car. And they'll sit out there for 2 or 3 hours petting their car. Yeah. And these ones, because they are really hard, actually do that. They scratch into the paper quite a bit if you sharpen them too sharp. They are a really stiff pencil. They're smooth. They're very, very smooth, but they're not, it's hard to explain. They're creamy, but they're not creamy. They're a good hard wax, but they lay down the color like nothing when they're a little bit dull, which is really interesting to me because I like to have them nice and sharp. Yeah, a car guy will sit out in his car for like 2 hours just smelling the interior. So they can't say nothing to me about pencils. With that new car smell. Yeah, yeah, they are a really nice soft pencil. They do move really, really nice, but they're stiffer. And if you sharpen them to a really sharp point, you're going to notice that stiffness, if that makes sense. Like this one here is pretty much the perfect sharpness that they should be. Is about like that. It lays down color so nice when they're that sharp. Anything sharper than that, well, just a little bit sharper than that's nice too, but if you sharpen them like I do too, let's see, there's one that's still sharp. To this kind of a point, it's not going to, it'll color, but it does seem to have issues with being that sharp. Yes, it was. Although my father always taught me, and in the 80s it was too, and so was the 90s. When I got into driving and that sort of thing, it was the mid 80s. And I asked my dad to teach me how to drive. And my dad looked at me and said, "Do you know how to tear apart an engine?" And it's like, "Well, kinda. You've taught me a little bit of it." He says, "When you can tear apart that engine completely from top to bottom and put it back together again, then I'll teach you how to drive." So I sat outside for like 2.5 months. Well, not constantly, but working on this one car and tearing down the engine into little tiny parts and putting it all back together again so my dad would teach me how to drive. He still didn't teach me how to drive. I knew how. I knew how to do it. And then, you know, he made my boyfriend teach me how to drive. And even then, he didn't teach me how to drive well enough. I was always scared behind the wheel until I actually taught myself how to drive. But I at least knew how to tear apart that engine. Yeah, I have a tendency to sharpen them to a really, really fine, fine point. Oh, my husband is leaving work, so he'll be home soon. Yay. Deborah, did you want to join in on the bidding for the auction on the 14th of March? Because I haven't received your registration. Okay, well, make sure that you send me the email, the registration email, so I can send you the link and your bidding number. because it's not going to be held on this channel, so you won't get notifications from this channel for it. It's going to be a private auction. So just a reminder to everybody that wasn't here earlier, when I was talking about it. On Sunday, I did a video and a live stream about an auction that I'm going to be putting on, selling some of my husband's 3D printed art supplies that he has created for me. If you want to join the auction, please go to that video and take a look in the description. It will tell you everything that you need to know on how to join me within the auction and how to bid and that sort of thing. Yes, shoot me the email. Let me know your well, your regular name, obviously, which is probably the same as your YouTube name, your mailing address, and your email address that you have associated with your PayPal account. Though you don't have to have that because you don't have to pay with PayPal. If you don't have a PayPal account, it's not a big deal. Yeah, he worked hard on those. And he's working on another one that somebody that did join us for that Sunday was asking about. So he's working on putting that paint box together as well. Although I haven't seen her either, so hopefully she's watching as well. And he is working on that for you. So I will let you know if he's able to engineer something out of his brain for half pan paint pans and mint containers. Yeah, it's just he has them in his backpack, so I can't show you. But I'm quite sure that you've seen not the small package of those mints, but the larger one with the big mints in it. And we figured out we can probably put a dozen half pans in that. But I have my husband had a couple of questions that he wanted me to ask her if I had seen her again. Because the half pans come in a little plastic holder. And if he doesn't have to design around that holder, it makes it easier. So if you want to just plop the half pan into a holder without that little plastic piece that it comes in, because when they come, I have one on my desk here somewhere. I'm quite sure everybody knows what a half pan is. If not, it's just this little tiny square block of paint. But this little white holder, the paint is loose in it until you put liquid to it. So he's going to design it so you just flip this over top of it. It'll drop the paint right into the holder that's built into, that you can snap into your mint container, and off you go. I think he decided that it could probably hold up to 12 or 16. I can't remember how many. But he's trying to figure out how to design it so it just snaps right in. So you can just pop the little half pans into the holder, and you can pop the whole thing in and out of that tin. I told him if he figures it out, we should sell them in packs of 3 or 4. And that way, if you have metallics or pastels or, different tins for different colors, it covers you. Because those little paint holders are quite expensive. Yeah, most of them are. I looked up quite a few half pans, and they're pretty much the same size. Which was interesting to me too, because that was my question too, is are they all the same size? The brand I have is different than other brands, but it seems that they're a universal size of half pan or a pan. And if I'm wrong, let me know. But from the research that I did, it seems that's a universal size. Everybody's so quiet sometimes. Yeah, he does it for fun. The only reason why we're really even considering auctioning them off is just so that I have a little bit more in the coffers for the YouTube group here, because I like giving things away. And yeah, he saw the bank account one day. It's not the giveaway things that are expensive, it's the shipping that really does me in sometimes. So having a little bit in the coffers to cover shipping, and a little bit for purchasing extra things would be cool. One of the sets that I got is really, really nice. And I'm definitely not a watercolor artist whatsoever. I play in it. But I got a set from a company that sent me the set to review. And it's not an artist set. It's done by Pagos. And they're really nice. It's a really nice looking set. And it comes with some, it's a really nice looking set. It comes with a pencil and a water brush and a paintbrush and a sponge for your water and even a drawing pencil and a drawing pad. And the paints are really nice. Like, the colors of these paints are pretty. But yeah, so that's the set I have that's actually, you know, in a watercolor paint set. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I said, you know, my husband, when I first started coloring, and I bought my mom the first set of Prismas, you know, I said, "Oh, I'll never buy anything like that for myself." Yeah, okay. He said he said, "Well, that's a lot for just colored pencils." And then when I bought the Holbeins, he was, you know, he said, "That's a lot for colored pencils." And then he started getting more and more into the 3D printing and the filaments and the different printers and whatnot, and now understands different things for different things. Different pencils for different paper and stuff like that. So now he understands a little bit better. Yeah, the I wouldn't spend that kind of money on pencils. Kind of doesn't work anymore. Oops. Oh well, I like them and I have fun with it. So, and he likes the fact that it relaxes me and I enjoy it. So as long as I enjoy it, then that's all that matters. And hobbies are expensive. I think I'm going to finish up the greenery and call it a day so that I can get supper started and whatnot. He should be home shortly. And of course, it's already 5 o'clock, so it's 5 o'clock somewhere. I gotta feed them. They expect food around 5 o'clock every day. I don't know why. They don't ever get it, but I'm never on time with dinner. I try to be, but I never am. And 14 sets. Deborah, you're behind. Yeah. Yeah. No, I bought my mama the 150 set for Christmas one year. The first year that I started coloring, and said to myself, well, I said to Bob, yeah, I'll, you know, she can do that sort of thing. She's really good at it and makes things really pretty. I'll never spend that kind of money on myself. And yeah, that didn't help. That that didn't happen. Absolutely didn't happen. But now you know how to use them and use the really pretty ones. And I learn constantly. It's a that's one thing that I really like about it is it's not, okay, this is how you do it and that's it. It's a constant learning experience, and I think that's what I like the most about it. Yeah, my first coloring book addiction was Selena Finish. I had to have all of her coloring books. I just love her work. Now I have so many coloring books that I don't know where to start sometimes. And Christine Caron, you know, her work is just, oh my God. I wish I could draw like that. I really do. I can't, but I really do wish I could. Both my kids are pretty good artists, but neither one of them will admit it. Oh, cool. Yeah, I learned quite a bit from coloring Kitten Clowder coloring group and a little bit from Coloring Bliss as well. So, and a whole bunch of other YouTubers that I watch constantly that teach me things all the time. And I learn things from my friends, and well, now I learn things from all you guys. So, I'm constantly learning. And I have a brand new product and a new way of coloring that I never thought of. Well, I've thought of before, but didn't know how to do it. And a company has come out with a product that makes it possible, which is really cool. Ooh, you have a whole coloring book in your head? Well, let me know when you're done it. When you have it all drawn out, let me know and I'll help you color it. All right, guys, I think I will be calling it a day. I'm going to work on some of these little flowers and stuff like that over the next day or two. I've got so much work to do on Friday and Thursday. We may end up doing all of the flowers or most of the flowers on Saturday, and the background. The background should be fun because I want to do it multicolors. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's always a good thing too, is going over the fundamentals, going over the basics. I definitely will, and you too, Davissa. Thank you so much for joining us. Um, thank you. I think she's turning out pretty nice, and the pencils help more than my coloring does. So, a final thing I of course want to remind you all of, and it's just so that everybody has an opportunity, is please, please, please go watch the Sunday special on the auction, so that you have better information on how to join us, how to register for the auction, and that sort of thing. It gives you all the information in the About section, and all of the products are shown in the video. So if you want to give that a watch, please do. Send me an email if you want to join us for the auction. I will send you out a bidding number as well as a link to the private auction room. Thank you all so much for watching and for joining me on this wonderful work in progress Wednesday. If you want to join us over on our Facebook group, of course, you can definitely do that. Just fill out the application questions. There's like 3 or 4 little application questions, and we will be happy to get you in there as quickly as possible. Um, Last and absolutely not least whatsoever is to remember to relax, color, and stay safe. And we will see you tomorrow for Thankful Thursday. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I have had a blast. You guys have a great night. Bye-bye for now.